And then they said, but God, how did we rob you? What we took of yours? And what did he say you took? You took your tithe and your offering. You took that. That's my stuff. But you done took it from me. Everything you own, the earth and the Lord, everything you own is mine. I gave you instruction. I said, okay, to be a steward, I want the 10 for the storehouse, and then you give an offering, and then let me lead you and have you manage your house and whatever else. But it's my stuff. I'm giving you control over my stuff. Anybody ever had what's it called? Power of attorney? And then somebody's not able, but you're supposed to take care of their responsibilities. And so you get their checks, and you're supposed to pay their bills, you're supposed to pay their stuff, because you got power of attorney. Okay, but you get their stuff, and next thing you know, they bills ain't getting paid, car got took, house in foreclosure. You using their check, but you're not taking care of their responsibilities. And God said you have, and you go to jail for that, you know. And God said, you have robbed me because you're not paying the tithe and offering. He said, because of it, you are cursed with a curse. You stole from me. That's a curse to steal from God. He said, you are cursed with a curse because you robbed me and even this whole nation. He said, what I blessed you with, I told you to put in a place so that I can allow the church to be a blessing to the nation. And he said, but you have taken some kind of way in your mind, you done figured out it's yours, and every now and then you lend God something. You do this and you do that right there. And he said, because of it, you are cursed with a curse. He says, because you have robbed me and the whole nation. He says, if you want to straighten it out, what did he say in 10? What kind? Bring the whole tithe. That's why I tell y'all every Sunday morning. If you brought 5% and an offering, you still working on the tithe. Unless the rest of the offering going to cover the rest of the 10%. You can't bring the offering until you brought the tithe. Once you done brought the whole 10, and then you go up, how you going to go above and beyond when you ain't got above yet? You come and give God what he requires, and then whatever it is he puts on your heart. He said, bring all the tithes into the storehouse. What's the storehouse? For a farmer. What's the storehouse for a farmer? That's the barn. All right. And what happens out in the barn? What do you say? What happens out in the barn? Go ahead, Trevor. That's the treasure. All right. That's where all of it. If it's food, if it's money, whatever it is, when folks need help, when farm work needs to be done, it comes from the barn. They go to the barn to get the seed. They go to the barn to get what they need to do ministry. And the storehouse is whatever church that you're a part of. And it hurt me to do it, but I had a professional football player that used to be a part of my church. And then when he went to go play for the Ravens, and he still used to send his tithe back to me. All right, to our church. And so I loved that. But then I finally told him when I saw him and his wife was having so many, I said, man, y'all need to find a church home. And I said, so when they found a church home, his wife said, well, can we still send tithe to you? I said, no, this is not the storehouse anymore. You got another storehouse that's feeding you. And your tithe need to go to that storehouse, the storehouse that's feeding you. That's what the storehouse is where we get our nourishment from, where we get our feed from. And he says, so bring all the tithe into the storehouse. Keep going on.
That there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord.
Why do you bring the tithe into the storehouse? Might be food, might be meat, might be resources. When you got to go and depend on the government, there can be resources in the storehouse. I was just talking to the lady in Northeast Florida Community Action today. And I said, thank you. Because everybody that's been coming to the church for help since July, I had to send them. Because our resources that we had already budgeted to give to help folk, it was depleted by July from helping people. And so we were up, and we got to be stewards. And so everybody that come to me now, I have to send them to her, to Vicky Elmore up in Northeast Florida. All right, but she helps them, but I told her, "Hey, thank you. You were there, Lauren." I said, "Thank you," because we were depleted. The meat, there's no more meat in the storehouse for that kind of stuff. Why? Hope robbing God. Ain't no meat in the storehouse. And so now the whole nation being infected because hope robbing God. Keep going, He said, "Let me meet in my house."
And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open to you the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing, that there should not be room enough to receive it.
He said, if you do what I told you to do, you start robbing me, and do what I think it's a good deal. I ain't got a penny. He gave me a dime, and all he tell me is I gotta give him a penny and then maybe some extra. I got 7, 8, 9 cents that I never had. But some kind of way I thought the whole dime was mine. I forgot I didn't have a penny to start out with. He gave me the dime. But some kind of way we start thinking that our skills, our talents, our strength, something about us gives us ownership to that dime now. That dime is not ours. That dime, flat out, absolutely 100% full ownership, full right, belongs to God. He gave us the responsibility to be a steward over it. And first of all, he wanted to make sure that we return a tenth and an offering to the storehouse so the storehouse could do ministry. And he says, do it and prove me. I want you to do it. Prove me if I will not open up the windows of heaven. That's why I wanted to get the focus off of material, because all of a sudden we think that God owes us. He's going to add all these things, but in my mind, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but when he said he's going to open up the windows of heaven, I'm looking for the thing that's already in heaven to fall out. And no Cadillacs, no Mercedes, no Escalades, no 7,000 square foot house. Yeah, that's some other things that he'll give you after seeking him first. And he'll add up. But when that stuff starts falling out of heaven, I'm looking for love. I'm looking for joy. I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for patience. I'm looking for long suffering. I'm looking for temperance. That's the kind of stuff I'm expecting, because that's the kind of stuff I know in heaven. Right. When I get to heaven, I don't see myself riding around. I don't see myself riding around in something General Motors made. Something that can perish and fade away. I think it's spiritual things that he said, I'm going to give you, even if you don't have a quarter, you in Hades. You ain't going to tell me ain't no righteous people in Hades. Nobody can lie and tell me that. It's some folk in Hades that love God more than I love the Lord. But time and chance got them in a bad situation. But even in that situation, I've seen pictures to when them folk got bigger smiles than me. They look like they got more joy than me, because there's some stuff falling out from heaven that God has given them, that's giving them peace in the midst of whatever the circumstance is. And so I think if we're going to get all those scriptures to line up right, I think we got to understand that this stuff that we have, believe me, it's preachers that don't get paid what y'all pay, and y'all pay me good. I ain't even going to sit here and play with it. Y'all pay me very, very well. But it's preachers that's better than me, that work harder than me, that's more deserving than me, that don't have the kind of package I have. I know it. I ain't crazy to think that y'all pay me what I because of me. No, it's preachers out there that's more deserving than me. But time and chance happened where God put me in a good church that didn't mind taking care of their pastor. But it's some preachers that time and chance put them in a bad situation. But they still got their joy. They still got their peace. But that's the stuff that's guaranteed to fall out. So when I'm talking about guaranteed, there's some guaranteed stuff that's going to happen. Can't guarantee that I'm always have a good package. Y'all might change tomorrow, so the brain might say, y'all school, let's get together. That ain't guaranteed. My package ain't guaranteed, but it guaranteed that whatever y'all say, y'all ain't going to take my job. But that's guaranteed to fall out of heaven. And so that was the reason why we worked up from where we did to where we are now. to see how we formulate this stuff in our mind and